Okay, so I'm trying something new. Um I haven't made a video in a few days. I've posted some I just have on my phone. Um Last week I decided to make a video. I was working and out of nowhere, well, not out of nowhere because it's normal for me to have rushing thoughts. Um, I was working, and during that time, my system had went down for a second. And again, it's normal for me to have a rush of thoughts where it's just like they're constantly running, and then before one thought exits, another one comes in, and they're just packed with thoughts. And I'm trying to go through each thought, and it's overwhelming. So, out of nowhere, I just had this push, or something said record yourself, and then I started recording myself, and then it turned into like an almost hour long video. And when I got done with it, I felt pretty good. So when I got from work, I made another video because a lot of thoughts were just coming in, and I try to process these thoughts sometimes, but because it's so many of them, it's hard for me to process them all at one time. So I said some things in that first, second, maybe third video too, that I don't think was really clear, because I just wanted to just pour out, get it out, and just go from there, because I felt like if I were to sit too long on it, I would just become overwhelmed and discouraged and then not do it at all, make it more complicated than what it is. And I didn't want to do that. However, I felt that some things that I said was not clear. And whether I'm just overthinking it or not, I feel like whoever is on the other side listening may not fully understand what I said and what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to try to, well, one, I'm going to delete video 1 and 2 for sure. I'm going to try to break down each subject that I talked about, and then maybe it'll be clarifying part 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but we'll both be surprised because I don't know what to do right now, or how I'm gonna do it. I know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing it. So let's talk about clarifying the first video. Again, I was just working, and I was talking about myself and talking about why, just things I've been going through these past few months. And I don't know, girl or dude, I don't know. I'm just trying to clarify. So, end of 2023, I sat down, I wrote a list of goals I wanted to try to get through for the year 2024, because for a long time it's felt like I was just running in place. Nothing was getting done, nothing was being accomplished, just me running in place. Like, I'm constantly working and doing something, but where is it going? I'm not seeing any progress being made. I'm not seeing anything being made. It just felt like I'm just running in place, like a hamster on a wheel. So I made a list of goals I wanted to try to accomplish by the end of 2024. Some things happened around the end of the year, and I wasn't fully thinking clearly. I decided to volunteer to help out somebody to watch their kid. Because of this, what was said to me about the situation, I recognized a few things from me growing up, from the things that triggered me. So I instantly just jumped in and said, hey, I'll do it. without thinking about all the other things that came along with it. I was just like, let's just do it, and I will figure it out as we go on. So I ended up taking in a teenager, and again, I'm not going to say any names, only because I try to respect everyone's privacy, and I'm trying to just explain some things and talk about the things that I did and what led me to where I am now. So I took it, came to visit, and doing so, you have more than one person telling you what to do. You have about, let's say, 5 people who are in different stages of their life, different circumstances, telling you what to do. And it feels like whichever decision I was trying to make or trying to do something, one of the 5, 2 of the 5, however, it was always like, you're not doing it right, you're doing it wrong, don't do this, don't do that. And my thing is, where are all these as easy as just as I volunteered to help out, these other voices were not the ones who volunteered to help out, or they weren't able to do so. So I felt like I'm doing my best that I can. I'm trying to, one, I have never had a teenager in my home to where I had to watch them and be responsible for a teenager. I've always been responsible for Ashley, or responsible for helping out my mom's situation. And so I was really open to what everybody was saying, but it was almost like I wasn't trusting myself at the same time, because there was things that I knew I should have been doing certain things and going a certain way, but I didn't trust myself, so I was listening to other people. And not only did I start something new like that with a teenager in my home, I also started school the same week they came, which I haven't been in school in about 10 years. So that was new for me too. So trying to start school, which is new, and if anybody knows me, knows I hated school. I hated everything from school, from kindergarten on up to graduation. I hated school all the way through. Though I did not like school, I couldn't wait to graduate. I was over it. I hated school literally from kindergarten to my way out. So trying to start school this year and make good grades, stay ahead so I wouldn't get behind, a new teenager in the home, and then I got a whole relationship too. So when you are with a relationship, you can't make certain decisions. You can make certain decisions for yourself, yes, but if it's going to affect you and your household, when somebody you share it with, it becomes different, because you two are 2 different people and you guys believe in 2 different things or going about things differently. And I would say that I did not consider my partner's feelings on a lot of things, because I was just trying to help out a situation, and I moved based off emotions, not clearly thinking about all the things that were going to come out or come after it or come behind it. So doing that, these like 3 or 4 months, I really became resentful of a lot of things, because I tried to give everything I had to give to all 3: school, relationship, and the teenager who was staying with me. And I not at one time did I take a time for Ashley. And mentally and emotionally, I felt I was spiraling, because I felt like no matter what I did, it was not going to be enough for anybody. The teenager I had, said to me they like to be left alone and like to do their own thing and just, chill. Me, I'm the person that likes to be involved and try to um, just be involved because that's what you're supposed to do. But a teenager has their own personality, has their own things they want to do. So I had to learn to step back and just let them do their thing, which was okay. But then it felt like one is like, well, you can't hover over them because, they're not a baby anymore. You're right. But then when I stepped back and let them do their own thing, it was more so like, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. How? I have them do their chores. I make sure they're doing their schoolwork, get their school stuff done. I make sure they're fed, make sure there's food, make sure their needs is there. I'm just giving them their space so they can just do them, And then when it came to relationship, it was like I wanted to make sure that, yes, I'm taking care of the teenager, but I'm also trying to take care of home too, and make sure that my relationship, my partner doesn't feel like they're neglected or left out, like they don't matter. And then, it was just like with school required stuff, work required things. And I just felt like everything was just becoming draining because, again, my first thought to my last thought of the day was about everybody else and not for me. And this well just went dry to where I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't do anything. Like, I just felt like, you're trying to help and do things one way, trying to get them involved with stuff, but then it would make somebody else feel some kind of way because it's like, well, you're trying to keep them there permanently. I'm not. But while they're here with me, I'm going to try to do what I can to help, But I feel like nothing that I was trying to do was good enough. And it just became really weight on my shoulders. Like, I was drinking just about every day just to relax my nerves because it was just really stressful situation. It's one thing when it's just you and one person, whether it's just you and your child or you and your man or just you. It's different because it's just y'all. But then it's like when you take on the role I took on, I had to deal with other people. And it wasn't just me, my partner. It was me, my partner, the teenager, and everybody else attached. But no one else is volunteering to help. They want to tell you what to do and what not to do, but you're not the one who's volunteering to help. So I did what I had to do. I had to, just say, look, this isn't working because mentally, I got a lot on my plate, and I'm sitting here realizing that all of my goals that I was trying to work on, nothing had been touched. And I felt like I'm trying to accomplish these goals for myself because I need to work on myself. I couldn't do it all. So I did. I ended up talking to their mother and saying, hey, we got to work something out because it's not really working. And it wasn't nothing the child done. They were good. We were cool. It was just other things in my world was needing more attention. So that was one thing. I'm constantly being told that you got to put yourself first and you got to do what's best for you. And growing up, I thought that was a bad thing when someone says, well, you're selfish because you don't care about yourself. I always thought that was a bad thing. So I thought if you put yourself last, that was actually noble or the right thing to do. But unfortunately, the older I get, the more I realize is that sometimes you have to put yourself first. Because if I'm so stressed out to where you can really be so stressed that you die. If I were to be on my deathbed today and die tomorrow, everybody else's life is going to go on. They may shed a few tears for you, but once you buried, you'll be a memory. So I gotta take care of myself, and I'm realizing that's what I have to do, because the way that I was going, the way I was feeling, I was not myself. And I know you're supposed to change for the better. I was changing for the worse, because I couldn't even hold a conversation with people. I really stopped talking to people. I wasn't really answering my phone. I wasn't really replying back to anybody. I was just not myself. And while I'm trying to grow and I am trying to change, I'm trying to change for the better, not for the worse. So that's what I did. That was the day I decided I need to do for Ashley. And I had to take a step back. And I can't take care or can't help other people if I'm not in a place of trying, if I'm in the wrong place. Let's just call it that right there. So that's what I did. Okay. So that's clarification number one from my first video. The second thing I wanted to talk about was, I'm trying to think. I don't want any video that I post to come off to say, woe is me. No matter how much I'm going to try to not come off that way, if somebody else is going to think that, that's their business, not mine. Because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I sat with myself and talked to myself. Again, I talk to myself a lot and I answer myself. But I talked to myself and was just like, you know what you're trying to do. You know what your goal is, what your intention is. And I don't do anything with the intentions of purposely trying to offend anybody or to hurt somebody's feelings or attack anybody. I intentionally do not do that to, anybody. But you cannot control, and I realize this, I cannot control how someone else is going to receive a message, no matter how hard I try to deliver it. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable, because yes, there are a lot of decisions that I made, a lot of things that I went through growing up that while it may have sucked having it done, I still made the decision to do certain things. Like, I made a video about how one of my aunts treated me when my other cousin was around. And I'm not trying to blame anybody. I clearly said one of the videos that it could have been new to them, so they wouldn't know how to really handle it, of having a fat family member who's a child. I did notice that I felt like all these different experiences with certain gatherings caused me to lead to a eating thing, like where I snuck food, I binge ate, basically hid food. I would eat a lot when I'm by myself, because it would be like, when I would be around the people, I would be so self-conscious that I really, really want to eat, or I would feel so uncomfortable that I would just wait until I got home to eat by myself, or wait till I was in the car by myself to eat. So I'm the one who created that for me, though, because of how things happened. I still was the one, I knew it was wrong, but I still decided to eat and eat and eat and eat, and here we are today. So you have to take accountability for everything that you do. because it's not always, so as someone else could have done something to make you feel some kind of way, it's still your decision on how you respond and how you react to certain things. And that's what I did. So I'm never going to say I'm fat because this person did this to me, treated me this way. No, I'm fat because I was born the biggest baby in my family, and I always had an eating thing. Food made me feel comfort. It made me feel, it was almost like a drug. I remember someone saying, no, I remember watching this movie called Ray, and where he did his first dose of drugs. You saw him just like drift away and just be like, hold his head back and just like drift and just absorb it in, and just took you on this whole high. I think that's what food did for me then. Like, you would just eat, and then it would just, that moment you were in it, you just didn't care about anything. You were just in this whole little fog, you know? And it became addictive. So that could be the reason, that could be one of the reasons why, you know? And then I would just eat. It would be comfort. And that's what I did. So, yeah, it's nobody's fault, my fault. You know, certain things, you know, I say when a child is obese, sometimes I'm going to say it can be the adults surrounding them's fault about it. Because as a child, you don't make money to go to a store, and you don't make the money to bring, you don't have the resources as a child yourself to go out to the store to get what you want to eat, bring it in the house, cook it, and go from there. Somebody is supplying it to you. So if a child is obese, if they don't have a car to go out to go get what they want, or they don't have the money to go out and get what they want to eat, how are they getting that food in the house? It's because the adult in that house is bringing it into the house. The adult in the house is cooking the kind of food. The adult in the house is going out to buy that fast food. The adult in the house is bringing and supplying that stuff for that child. So you got to take accountability as an adult too, because you're supplying it to this child. You're not limiting certain things. And I understand as an adult now that sometimes it is easier to go get fast food. It is easier to go get fast food because all the things you're doing throughout the day, and sometimes you're just tired of cooking. It is easier to go out to eat and have somebody cook your food. It is easier to, it's just easier to have those easy resources, you know? But, because I know healthy food is not easy. You could take $100 and go to a grocery store and fill up on certain things to where it is, you can make multiple meals or make a meal last longer rather than going to Whole Foods and spending $100 on maybe 3 or 4, maybe 10 things, and that's lasting you maybe 2 days. Quality over quantity, you know? So sometimes cooking certain meals can be hard. You know, we have more resources now to look at different videos, Pinterest, different resources to look for healthier ways of cooking and preparing meals. But some people don't do that. But you can't be an adult getting mad at a child for being overweight when you're the adult who was supplying it to them. You can cook whatever you want, and you can limit what that child eats. You can take some time to go on a walk with them after a meal or something before we go to bed or something. But it's all about what you feel like doing. And unfortunately, certain things happen to where, you know, shit happens. So that's where, like, sometimes we gotta hold each other accountable for it. And I did write, I have a list of things I want to talk about, but holding ourselves accountable is definitely a topic I'm going to talk about, because I am holding myself accountable for a lot of things that I've done and said, and we're going to talk about that in a different video. So again, I am basically clarifying all my topics I made in the first video, so if no one ever saw it, this is just me saying I'm just making changes to what I did and how I'm going to move forward or keep going with posting these videos. So that's that. I'm going to make some more videos just clarifying those. I'm trying to keep my videos short because the other ones I did were kind of long, and I know our attention span isn't that long these days with all these shorts on YouTube. So I'm going to try to limit these things I'm saying in each video, and then whoever decides to go about reading it, enjoy. I appreciate it. And then, you know, I'll just keep posting. But I want to say I am open to conversation, so if anybody wants to make a comment on here, please feel free to do so. If you want to like it, cool. If you want to share it, even better. If you want to subscribe, please do. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to keep making some more videos and keep posting it, because like I said, those 2 videos for sure were the long videos. And then I'm just going to just try to, again, to clarify more things and try to break down the videos a little bit shorter, so we can start this puppy off right and on a clearer note and on a happy foot. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to go about saying these things, whether no one else hears this or sees this video. I'm going to see it. So I'm interested in seeing what changes I've made or how far I went by the end of this year or by this time next year. So I really appreciate it. Whoever is listening, whoever is watching, thank you.